Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Cast. I'm joined by our usual Glenn and Mark, and bringing us in today a special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, referenced on last podcast. We have Marco. Marco, say hello.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Happy to have you.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Sorry I don't have a camera on,
That's okay.
but I don't own a podcast camera. I don't own a webcam camera.
That's
It's
fair.
Dang.
the economy has not been good,
It's tough in
and
these
uh
streets.
and it's very hard to pay for such a thing at this time. It was either that or food. So we will endure. Just please look at my image when I speak.
Yep.
I
You
also
are
wanted,
Miku.
yes, exactly. I wanted to start this podcast off with a fun gaming fact
Mm,
to warm us up, warm everybody up.
I'm locked in.
So I have it written on my phone at 2% battery. So if it's one shot, I have to make it count. Now I'm going to ask everyone here and the audience at home, where does the word gaming come from?
That's a good question, actually. Does it come from gambling?
Oh my god.
That's
I
what
know what you're doing.
that's what you think. That's what you would think. However, um it was actually in 771 to 221 BC in the Warring States period in China. There was a man named Gay Ming who enjoyed playing mahjong, and they he may have questioned his sexuality, but that's irrelevant
Mm.
to the discussion. And Emperor Zhao of the Zhao dynasty honored the practice of playing games after Mr. Ming. So that's where we get the word gaming from. So I just figured I would share that as a fun gaming fact to start the conversation.
And shout out to him. Shout out to
Thank
gaming.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
Shout
for
out
submitting
to
yourself.
Comrade Ming. That was
Yes,
Absolutely.
very helpful.
absolutely.
His sacrifice will
Thank you.
not be in vain.
Yep.
We will play
That
games in his honor.
exactly. Exactly. So yeah, anyways, please.
Good way to bring it in.
Yeah, a good segue now.
Good segue. But yeah. Well, we're happy to have you, like I said. We are just gonna kind of, I guess, go through our weeks, what we've been playing, what games have been on the radar, or anything else we did. We are kind of gonna keep it freeform and having a good time. I'll kick it off with the stuff about James Bond being pretty good, because I actually wasn't sure
Mhm,
if that game was gonna be good at all.
mhm,
I was watching gameplay of it. I did not realize. I assumed it would be like Hitman. I've played the modern Hitman games. They're fun. I didn't
mhm.
know it had like Arkham combat.
That's
Like
Oh, I did
interesting.
not know that
I didn't
either.
know that either. Actually,
they
wow.
did. They advertised none of that, and every TikTok I've seen today is dudes doing Batman combos as James Bond. I was like,
Huh.
when did they say that this was gonna have this?
That is
That's
really
crazy.
interesting. Wow. Because I
Mhm.
thought it was going to be more of a Telltale slash Hitman esque thing. And they really heavily advertised, like, no, listen, it's not going to be like a total gun slinging shootout thing. It's like you can talk your way out of being caught by enemies and things like that. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But now you're giving me this revelation of actually you can go in there and beat everyone to death with your bare hands, as is the James Bond fashion.
Oh yeah, shaken
Yeah,
not stirred.
exactly. That's what he said when he scrambles your medulla oblongata on the marble floor.
He
So
says
that's
shaken not
cool.
stirred as he haymakers you, and you
As
hit the
he,
ground immediately.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's okay. Interesting, interesting. I've
Funnily
heard,
enough,
yeah.
my girlfriend put that game on my radar because the soundtrack is Lana Del Rey.
Oh
She
really? I
has
didn't know that.
she's
Mhm.
making the songs for it. So interesting
Interesting.
stuff there.
That's cool. Very
I
cool.
guess
Sorry to
that.
cut you off, Marco.
No, no, you're good. No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I think one of the controversies, or like, I say controversies very lightly. It's just one of
Mhm.
the points of discussion that I've heard about the game. And I mean legitimate controversies. I've seen people complaining about like, oh, the women boss James around. Like, what's going on?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
okay, watch a James Bond movie, dude. Just go watch a James Bond movie. But an actual point of discussion was that the campaign itself is about 20 hours of content
Yeah.
for $70. So it kind of brings about the question of, is that worth the price?
Yeah, I'm
Especially
curious.
now that it's $70.
Yeah, because I was thinking about picking it up, but I was like, that's a lot. Um, Especially with other
Yeah.
games like Lego Batman also being expensive. You gotta weigh your
Hmm.
choices, you know.
That's
I
right.
imagine it'll have a lot of replayability. It's an IO interactive game, so like the Hitman games, I imagine there's gonna be like doing different routes and achievements for all of that and everything, which would be fun.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I did see one thing, which is the game will like try to distract you from missions and stuff like that. Like if you're on a mission as James, like hot girls will try to talk to you and distract him,
I
and you
saw
can
that.
choose
Okay,
to follow
that's
that
really
path
cool.
or go a different way. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay, that
So
is
I'd be
cool.
That
curious
is
how many
interesting.
branches there are, because I know you already mentioned, Marco, the whole you can talk your way out of it. I thought that was super interesting because I don't know if it's like a level up system how it works. I haven't seen that much of the game. I've tried to avoid it in case I want to play it, but
Hmm.
I did see that footage that was famously like he crawls in the window and the security guards see him and he gets like a quick time prompt and he hits it and he goes like, "Oh, I'm a, professional infiltrator. I need to talk to your manager." And they let him get away with that. And so I was
Right.
like, "Oh, how
Yeah.
much is the game going to let you choose how you want to play, right?" Like
Hmm. Hmm.
cuz I think if you get too
Yeah.
many options, it's just overpowered, right? Like you can just shoot or this or that, right? So,
Yeah. It'll be interesting. We'll see. I guess maybe it might not be, expansive in the sense, but maybe each level, like Hitman, is very in depth with what
yeah.
you can do. So I guess maybe that's where you get the bang for your buck, and it's going to be obviously very polished and things like that. Right now we're in a gaming industry where people just kind of push out very unpolished things just to push it out, and
Yeah.
with early access and stuff, which is fine, but sometimes it is nice to just get pay full price, and okay, this is the finished product, this is what you're getting. You don't have to wait 3 years for it to really be done. So that's we'll see.
Yeah. I hope it's good. I don't know. I saw people shitting on it just cuz it's AAA, which I know is like a big thing these days, is invalid to like shit on AAA games because they're so expensive. But I mean, it doesn't make me like want to hate it. Although I don't, I've already seen like a small segment of the population, which has got to be like real unks who like love James Bond, being like, "Dude, game of the year, GTA stands no chance." I'm like, wait a minute, you got to pump the brakes on that.
Yeah,
For 007, yeah, no chance.
No chance.
I don't know about that, man.
But that's a good
That's
segue because we're streaming this on May 27th. May 26th was supposed to be GTA 6's launch date.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw
Wow.
that, but
Wow.
before the last delay, this was when it was supposed to come out. And it's reassuring because like the head of Rockstar is getting all these interviews like, how do you feel? Like GTA 6 was supposed to be like today. And he is doubling down on the fall 2026 launch, saying
Yeah.
everything is on track. And so I am very excited. I personally believe I'm not a betting man, but I would bet that it's coming out in the fall. I don't think
Oh
Hmm.
we're gonna
yeah,
get any
for
more
sure.
delays there.
I don't think
Hmm.
it's gonna delay. No.
Yeah. No, that's, I
So
think, yeah.
I
I
was gonna say, do you guys want online on launch, or would you prefer the story simmer like it did with
What
GTA 5?
what was it like with so with like 5 and the other games was online like how long did it take for online to come out?
Um, I don't know if anybody wants to answer, but I can at least tell you for GTA 4, the online did come included
Mhm.
yeah.
at launch. However, online was a completely different animal to GTA 5. You had like a free roam kind of thing, which was like a, let's call it like a sandbox sort of mode,
Yeah.
where, but you didn't do anything. There weren't missions, there wasn't anything. It was just, hey, you can just kind of run around and shoot people and shoot other players and do that. That was it. And then you had more of these kind of like, your typical multiplayer versus modes of like racing cars and deathmatch and things like that. It was nothing compared to like
Oh
what
yeah.
GTA 5 did. And then GTA 5 was you had the base game, the single player, and then you got multiplayer. What was it like a week later, a few days later from
It was
the
definitely a month, like over a month. It was a
over a
long
Yeah,
month?
time.
Wow.
it
Yeah.
was not synced. I think it was even like 3 or 4 months because it was. I
Yeah.
remember people saying it
Wow.
was closer to when they then released it on PC 6 months later. 6 months later.
Oh.
It was
Wow.
bad. I remember it being almost impossible to join any of it,
Mhm,
which led to the overarching community creating these controversies
Mhm.
saying only influencers were allowed to
Oh, I remember that. I
access
forgot about that.
because like,
Wow.
the only people that we could see was like the Vanos crew and the achievement hunters getting in. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
everybody's like fighting for their lives to stay in a server for like 2 minutes. So these like
mhm,
conspiracies started coming out like, oh, Rockstar is only paying for the influencers to play online. And
mhm.
but no, it was a bad launch for sure. Um,
And
which
I Red Dead had a similar issue, right? Red Dead 2.
oh maybe I have put so many hours in Red Dead 2, but I've never touched that online, not
It doesn't
once.
even have it anymore. They like pull it
Oh
online.
Oh,
I
really?
don't think it even has online anymore.
oh shoot.
Yeah,
I knew the like shark card adjacent stuff in Red Dead 2 was so much more egregious.
Yes.
Like
right.
the grinding in our uh Red Dead 2 is just too much. And that was the biggest
Yeah,
controversy I heard there.
They were
yeah.
still focused on 5 at the same time too. They could have cared less about Red
It's
Dead,
their big
unfortunately.
cash cow. It's the big
It
Exactly.
cash
is.
cow
Yeah.
that continues to make money. I mean, the one useful thing, if you guys remember, not too long ago, they had those leakers that were holding some like sensitive Rockstar information hostage
Oh
about
yeah.
whatever.
Right.
And then they released it. And it was literally nothing. But the fun little tidbit was that you could see like how much money was being made off of like GTA Online and how much was being made at the time from Red Dead Redemption Online. And it was like nothing. Like nobody was dropping any money on Red Dead Online, but people were still shelling out like so much for GTA Online. So of course they didn't give like a shit about
Yeah.
it.
I remember that.
And then yeah, so that was just kind of the one interesting thing. I don't know. I feel like all eyes are on them, right? I think
Oh
this is going to
yeah.
be one of the
Yeah.
most this is if not the most watched, waited upon video game release, I think,
Yeah.
ever, ever.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So I think all eyes are on them that they got to deliver. I mean, the
Yeah.
story is going to be have to be good. The gameplay is going to have to be incredible, and the multiplayer is not going to be able to have the same issues that they had, in 2013, which is when the
Absolutely not.
original release
I
did.
mean, like if that game flops, I don't think it's impossible for it to flop at this point. It could do
I don't think so either.
poorly, but like
Right.
I don't think it can flop. Enough people will buy it out of hype alone
Right.
to
Hmm.
at least make it not completely flop. But I
Hmm.
don't think they can even sustain like low growth. It has to crush. They have an
Yeah.
astronomical amount of money in that game. Like
Right.
it's crazy. But to
Right.
answer the question of like what would I if I'd want multiplayer, I don't know. So it depends, right? I think you guys made great points about Red Dead and GTA 5 Online, right? Both of those suffered because they launched with multiplayer, but they weren't good. You know what I'm saying? They'd clearly focused on the story. If GTA 6 launched with like peak GTA 5 multiplayer stuff, like it has heists already, it has some of the
Mm,
cooperative things you could do, I would love to have that because I think that could be really fun to do with friends, right? But
yeah.
launching with just Sandbox, I'm kind of like, eh? I don't really know if
Mm-mm.
I care. I definitely am more interested in the story, but I will admit I loved the heist. Like I was never one of those guys who just sit there and do races all day like some people would on like the crazy custom built like tracks and stuff people had. But I don't know. It would be really interesting to see if they could launch it with like actual like tons of content like that. But
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
who
in,
knows?
in 5, is multiplayer locked by story or anything? Or if I just never play GTA 5, for instance, and I just log in and I can go straight to online?
Yeah.
That's
Or
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
okay.
absolutely
You could
can.
just
exactly.
jump in.
Because I was thinking, like, I feel like multiplayer should be fully functional and ready, so that it should be like they have the infrastructure set up so it can handle
Hmm.
them that do it. But I think they should hold it for like a month so that people can play the game and play the story without feeling like they need to rush or they need to like jump into online right away. Because I feel like the story is a big part too, isn't it? But it probably won't take people forever to finish, so like hold it for like a month or so.
Yeah. Well, that
Mm-mm.
was a leak. I don't know if this is true. We talk about leaks a lot on this podcast, but that was a leak that GTA 6's campaign is done and has been done for
Mhm,
like a year and a half. And the
mhm.
whole reason they delayed it was multiplayer is not ready. Because
Yeah,
they don't
I can.
they think because GTA 5 has been around so long that it really does have this dichotomy of like there's the people who replay it every year or so because they like the story, and there's the dudes who grind the heists and multiplayer to
Mhm.
get like the apartments and the better weapons and stuff, because GTA 5 has like genuine online progression. It's not just like heists and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you earn money and level your character up to get better bases, to get better loot. Like you can grind it like people grind Destiny, you know what I'm saying, right? And get like more improved weapons and stuff. So there's people who just do that. Like I have friends who've never played the story and have a couple hundred hours in GTA 5 because they just run heists with people and treat it like a raid in Destiny, where you just do it, you do the heist and then get out. Um, so I would be interested to see if they have some of that like set up already, versus like as we said, like sandbox, because I believe that would be a good reason why they pushed the game's launch off. Would definitely be because of like, oh, we want multiplayer at the same time.
So what's like the difference between like base online and then like all those like you know how like all those streamers used to play GTA Online on like no pixel? Because that's like separate, right? Like it's
Oh
still
yeah,
GTA. So how
like
Yeah,
does
Like the RP servers, you mean? Or
yeah.
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
it's not
it's
hugely
extremely different,
it's
right?
different in the sense of it's modded. So
Oh,
like the
okay.
map is
Modded.
the same,
Yeah.
the weapons, cars, all of that is the same, but they've modded in like different features and roles, right?
Mm.
So it,
Okay.
like Glenn was saying, it's very different gameplay wise. Like if you boot it into standard GTA 5 multiplayer, there's no prox chat, there's no
Mm.
changing the models and
Okay.
stuff like that,
Right. Okay.
and there's no like roles and things like that, unless you like intentionally go into a game mode for like cops and robbers or something like that, right? In which case you would then have that. But
But
yeah,
even in GTA 5 online, like base game, cops and robbers never goes beyond killing each other,
yeah,
right? In these like no pixel RP servers, they have plugins for like handcuffs,
yes,
forcing
none of
them
that's
into the
there.
back of cars, like these whole animations of when someone is like reaching for a gun. Like you have that like buffer time so that a cop can like see that. Because in regular GTA,
It's
you'll
instant.
see an NPC standing there and then boom, and it's like
yeah,
that's not realistic. That's not how a cop would be. And then even full on like jail systems. Like you can
right,
put someone in jail on these RP servers. Whereas
yeah,
cops and robbers in the base GTA 5 is just you're the cop, kill the robber. You're the robber, go kill the cop.
Yeah,
And so
right,
there's stuff like that, which is I thought was a huge change. Like cops, if they make GTA 6 have even that, like a cop role,
yeah,
oh yeah, I'd say game of the year right then and there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
because
that's
Because
I
I
awesome.
yeah, I was gonna say like because of like that when all those streamers were playing those RP servers, that was like, a couple years ago, but it was still like probably when it was in development. So it'd be interesting if I don't know, I don't think they did it, but it would be interesting if they added more like an RP functionality,
Mm,
to some of these online servers, just given how popular that was. And of course, when streamers play your game, I mean, not that GTA needs the exposure, but when streamers play your game and people get into it, I'm sure a lot of people got into Five watching all those streamers and the
oh
RP
yeah,
servers, and then there's probably dozens of spin-off RP servers because obviously No Pixel was full of the streamers, but there was probably tons where regular people RP'd and such.
right,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Because go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking, Gary's mod Dark RP walked so that GTA 5 online RP could run.
That is
Because
true.
it
that
because
is
it's
true.
literally, if you just think about it, it's literally like the same thing. You have a game like Gary's Mod that has this open sandbox,
Hmm.
but then you had servers where people had, and I swear you could probably write a thesis on this, on like the social dynamics of humans in like these games and how they take it so seriously, where you could like, oh, you could be a cop. And it wasn't just, oh, I'm a cop, I have a gun now and I'm a cop. It's like no, you have to enforce laws. You could arrest people. You had to like actually talk to them and be like, hey, you're breaking this law and whatever. And like you had to patrol, and people would take that job like really seriously.
Yeah.
You'd be like a gun dealer and all this kind of stuff. And it's just funny that like time is a circle, right? Where it's like now it's this newer generation game, and it's a very popular game. And I would even argue that a lot of GTA Online probably is still sustained because of those RP servers.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Not just the people on flying motorcycles blowing you up when you're just trying to like grind missions. Like to be honest with you, probably like those people that are just grinding missions are like the minority at this
Yes.
point.
I
I would
think so.
Modded
probably
servers
say.
is huge for that game.
Yeah, modded servers I think is like most of the population at this point. And I think it's true. It seems like fun because I feel like grinding the same heist over and over again is like maybe not the most entertaining thing in the world. I would definitely know because I was definitely a big uh I was on grinder all the time. I was on grind mode all the time. I
Okay.
love my
Okay.
fellow
Okay.
grinders.
Yeah, man.
And I was always grinding what like one of the big heists all the time. But I'm not one to talk. I'm a hypocrite because I did go on a modded server before modded role play servers were a thing. There were just modded cheating servers where you would just join a server and you would have to reconnect your internet router. At the time, it was like on my PS3.
Yeah.
I would have to like change my IP settings to join like this custom IP, and I would join a server and be like, "Oh, civilians drop $1 billion when you kill
I
them,"
remember those. Yeah.
and those kinds of things. I remember back in the day. That's just
Yeah.
how old heads had to get their money because I wasn't gonna go buy a shark card. But yeah, so but anyways, yeah, back to the point. Yeah, I think the role play servers are probably the reason that thing is just still as populated
Oh,
as
I
it
mean,
is.
100%.
you look at I'm looking at like SteamDB right now, and I think 5M is like the client for those modded GTA 5 stuff.
Mhm,
Yes.
That's
mhm.
like it's still one of the top games being played right now. Like
Yeah, yeah.
a crazy
Definitely.
amount of players just playing it. So yeah, definitely I can't imagine how much is 6 only console on launch, or is it also on PC?
Yeah, it's only console with a plan for I
Oh,
think
Yeah.
they said mid next year, like 6 months later,
ooh,
which was
okay.
similar to 5. It took them a long
Yeah.
time, but I think that's because not because they can't. Actually, no, I heard that it was going to be only a month or so for PC,
Mhm.
maybe. But I heard that that was a big thing where like Sony and Xbox had paid a lot to make it console
Mm.
exclusive at launch. Um,
Oh,
but
okay.
going off of what Glenn said, where he was like instant game of the year if it has any of those functionalities, I actually think it will have those functionalities because there was that comment. I don't want to misquote him. I'll try and find it on my phone after I say this, but the Rockstar CEO made a comment in an interview when someone asked him what he thinks that would make GTA 6 different than like previous entries. And he talked about this idea of having online have a fully living, breathing world, not just with NPCs, but like your character can have a presence. So like if you he talked about it in the sense of like social media, but this idea of like your character has a social media page in the thing, other characters can have that and interact with NPCs, and like people could run like their own radio show on the multiplayer lobbies
Oh
and
wow.
like stuff like that. Like, and you could make money doing that in the online server, like literally like live a second life in GTA Online is
Wow.
essentially what he was
Goddamn.
talking about. And some of that could be just gassing the game up, right? Like, because he
Yeah.
talked about the idea of people using the online for the game to make money in real life. That's what he said. He said, "I think you will be able to make money with GTA Online
Well,
as a
yeah, just
influencer
like
or a content creator."
just like Venezuelans make money with
Yes,
RuneScape.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that literally. Like,
Yeah,
the
like
hustle, man.
RuneScape got you beat there, Rockstar, by quite a while. No, I mean, sure. I mean, they could say that, but oh man, if that's the case, I'm getting flashbacks to like TF2 lobbies with the mic spam and
Oh
the
yeah.
soundboards, and I'm
Oh
just like,
my
oh
gosh.
man,
Low key, that would be
that's
amazing in a way.
that'd be
Those are
no, that'd be
good.
crazy. That'd be. I mean, listen, I don't know. We'll see what the radio stations are going to look like. Obviously, they're going to be crazy. It'd be cool if players could just run a radio station. But like the thing is, am I going to hear a radio station of a player that's just like he's trying to talk and his mom is vacuuming in the background and there's a crying baby in between intermissions and stuff. Like if
The
that's it,
dogs are fighting.
and the dog is fighting in the outside, like
Dude,
if
like
that's the case, I am gonna switch to like the nonstop pop and listen to
dude, like, could you imagine? Like, you join the GTA lobby, and because you can like make money in game and then like use it for stuff, if that's what they were really saying. You've got some guy on the Xbox Connect mic with the fan and the dog, like you said, just being like, "Free money, free money. Listen to my radio show, free money." Right? Like, please,
Free
please,
money.
please.
Yeah,
Some kid.
exactly. Yeah.
That'd be beautiful. Truly, the old internet
Dang.
with that.
Yeah. No, I think in a serious point, I think you're right though. I think they'll have that functionality because isn't the story about this the couple, the main couple, the guy's like an undercover cop or he's like a double agent or something like that.
It's been alluded to. They
So
haven't commented on
Yeah,
it.
we've only gotten drip feed
yeah.
information about that.
And I mean, like you have Red Dead Redemption 2, right? It has the honor system, like good and bad. It's could be very easy to just be like, oh, criminal or more law abiding kind of thing.
Mm,
And just real quick, as a big avid fan of GTA 4 back in the day, there was a system where you could steal a cop car and use the terminal in the
I remember
cop car
that.
to hunt down criminals
Right.
and
Yeah.
like
I do remember
actually
that.
just go find them. So it wouldn't take that much to just be like,
Yeah.
okay, you could just become sort of a cop or a vigilante or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, his quote
I
was
do remember.
about to go back to it. It's not the direct one, but I got it to summarize it for me here. So this is also Google Gemini because I'm trying to do it on my phone while talking. So take it with a grain of salt that this thing
Uh-huh.
could be just straight lying to me. But it said he
Right.
talked about having heavily player-driven economies in game and digital ownership within the online environment, and he was going to use that to drive the game's ecosystem in online play.
You thought the metaverse was over. It
It'd be really
actually
funny.
took its new form.
GTA is the metaverse. Like
Is
that would
the
be
true
Well,
hilarious.
you
metaverse.
know, the GTA Online has a 100% player-driven stock market. Do you
Really?
remember
Oh,
that?
I did not remember that. I remember
I actually
Diablo
didn't
had
know
that.
that.
Dude, it literally has a trading stock market that is 100% based off of the trading trends of the GTA Online.
Wow.
I didn't know
And
that.
it was paired because, like, in the story mode, it had the stock market that was
Right.
completely dependent on, like, acts you did in the game. So, like, for example, if you when you blow up that phone in, like, the guy's face, right, that
Mhm.
mission,
Yeah.
that
Mark
stock
Zuckerberg guy.
plummets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like the pharmaceutical company that stock market like skyrockets. So people like will tell you to min max all that. And that's how I got rich quick in the story mode. Just
Yeah.
people have tons of tutorials of when to buy and when to sell and
Right.
You can
stuff
do
like
that in
that.
real life too. That is
You
also
can.
a
That
real
is true.
tool.
Yeah, that
It
is
is
true.
possible.
You could kill people to influence the outcome of the stock market. That is just
That
something
is
you can.
true.
That's
Taking
like a
notes,
little
taking
known.
notes.
That's like a little known like IRL money glitch that only
Right.
few knows.
Little did you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be curious if they do that, like lean into that heavier in online.
Yeah.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people, I mean, I've seen, that's the thing with GTA, like, usually with games and stuff, like, great example today, and maybe I'll talk about this later again, but like the Witcher DLC leak, right, where they came out and they're like, they're going to patch the game and add new DLC. That was announced today, that next year they're getting a new expansion. And apparently it's going to add 30 gigs to the game download.
Wow.
I saw, which is like nuts.
Damn.
So that's going to be a huge DLC if that's true.
Yeah.
But like, I would love to see it if like, you know, or well, with GTA leaks. I'm sorry, I lost my mind there for a second. But like, I just don't believe half of the ones I read. Like, there's crazy stuff that comes out about
Of
that
course.
game, and it's like you don't know. We really don't know. There's no way to like mine through it at this point. It's too much noise.
They haven't really advertised much just beyond the trailers, which don't, show much gameplay anyway, right? Or
No,
it shows gameplay, but you can't tell, right?
that's their
So
whole
we don't
flex. Is like,
we
oh,
don't
this has
know,
gameplay and cutscenes.
right? But then we don't know what all these systems are gonna look like. We don't know how like online, even remotely, is gonna work, what they kept, what they changed, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I'm because their CEO also keeps hyping up that they have some giant marketing campaign that's like
Right, I
coming up.
did see that. Yeah.
He says that like every interview. You guys aren't ready for this marketing campaign we're gonna do, and I'm like, dude, we've seen nothing, like literally nothing. So I have a feeling. I know we predicted it'll get shown at Summer Games Fest. I think if it does get shown at Summer Games Fest, we're gonna get nonstop GTA stuff for a while. I think they're gonna like really heavily lean into it for a bit. Where they're gonna be like, boom, big trailer, and then gameplay stuff, and then like celebrity things and everything. I guarantee it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
wild.
yeah.
Right. Right.
I feel
Adding to
like
the
they've
budget.
earned that right. Like we mentioned previously on the podcast, like leakers will be like, "Oh, here's this mission that you're not showing people. Would you mind if I show that?" And they're like, "Dude, go fuck yourself." Like
Yeah.
we literally revealed to the world that we make 10 billion a year in shark cards, bro.
Mhm.
Like, can we stop kidding ourselves? And so like
Mhm.
they're gonna show us whatever the fuck they want,
Mhm.
Oh,
and
that's
and
absolutely
that's
true.
literally how it goes. So
Mhm.
just gotta
Mhm.
sit pretty waiting for it.
Yep. Yep.
I am, I guess, pivoting off of them because we've been talking about the multiplayer so much. Marco, you'd already talked about it a little bit, like the story, what they've leaked about the story. What would you guys want to see from the story with like all the Bonnie and Clyde stuff that they're alluding to? Which I think is a really good idea, by the way, if I may say myself. Doing
Yeah.
the whole like the two characters, because it was already fun in GTA 5 switching between the gang, right? Between Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. That was already awesome. So the idea of adding an extra layer to that where it's like not only are they like comrades doing heists, but like actual like lovers and stuff like that. Like imagine they do like missions where like if it's true the one guy is an undercover cop, right? And he's like falling in love with her as he's undercover with her. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That would be super interesting if they did missions where it's like you have one mission where you're the guy like being undercover sneaking, and then you do another one immediately after where she's tailing him the whole time. Like stuff like that
hmm.
could be amazing. That could be really
Mhm.
good level design
Mhm.
for things like that, or having you switch between them during missions. That'd be so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like GTA as a series has been one of those game series where you can really see the evolution from the obviously there was the top down era was the first one. Then you had your
Oh
3D
yeah.
era, which was
Right.
GTA 3, San Andreas, and stuff like that. And then from 3D to HD, right, from San Andreas to GTA 4. And then the stories have been, I don't know, like the tonality of these stories have been all over the place. Because GTA 3 is pretty unserious, and then San Andreas is like, it's your 90s, it's like 90s gangster kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, gang war stuff in Los Santos, and it's fun. I mean, it's obviously, I think it's one of the most sold games of all time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously, so it's certainly up there as like one of the most iconic GTA's. But then GTA 4 did like a whiplash of like, no, you don't get jetpacks and miniguns in this anymore. It's like very, very grounded, and in
Right.
Yeah.
fact, I would argue that it's still the best story
Mm.
of like the GTA franchise, like the story of Nico and his
Damn.
cousin and whatnot. And like having to deal with all that, I still think it's the best story of
Yeah.
of the of the
Damn.
of the series. But GTA 5 obviously kind of took everything from that, the engine, right? What is it? What is it called? The Chaos engine or something like
I actually
that?
don't know. I know they have their own
Mayhem
engine, but
engine or something.
yeah.
But they obviously they expanded on that in 5, and then they gave us, the three character thing, which also I have the opinion is like, to be honest, yeah, it's three characters. You're totally right, and they are three different types of characters. But
Mhm.
let's be real, the story is kind of mostly Michael and Trevor, right? It's kind of their
Yeah, it starts to
relationship,
lean into them.
and Franklin is more of like the audience surrogate of like the guy
Yeah,
looking
self
into
insert.
this, right? Kind of thing. So I kind of want to see a Sleeping Dogs. If anyone ever played Sleeping Dog, I
Yes,
want to see
dude.
a
Oh my
Sleeping
god.
Dogs of like a cop conflicted with
Yeah.
crime, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you have your shoddy, you got your baby mama that is clearly a criminal, but I'm starting to be sympathetic to this, but I still have a job to do, and yeah, that'd be cool if you could do like, maybe you do a mission as one character and then you have to revisit that area or do the same mission, and whatever consequences of what you did with one affects the other one. I don't know,
Yeah,
something like that. That'd be cool.
like
We'll
branching
see.
storylines.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
that'd be interesting. That'd be
Were
interesting.
there alternate endings in like 5?
Yes.
There
Yeah,
were.
Okay,
there's
yeah.
There
there's
were.
three
There were
choices for
three
that.
I won't
specific
spoil it,
choices.
but it makes you decide between like 3 endings, and one is like canon ending, and then there's 2 alternates.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'd expect probably the same as well, like
Mhm.
alternate endings based on the
Yeah.
choices. Yeah.
I
I was not
imagine
gonna
I can
expect
see that right now, based on, again, I won't spoil GTA 5 for Mark since he may play it at some point, but
Mhm.
like based upon the ending options it gives you in 5, right? I would not be
Mm.
surprised if it's stuff between like Lucia, where it's like help her or like betray her kind of thing,
Sure. Oh,
right?
sure.
For the
Yeah,
ending,
I see
yeah,
what you're
because
yeah.
like
saying.
as
Yeah.
the drama increases of he's undercover and can't hide it anymore, she's starting to figure it out. It'll reach a point, and then that'll make you make the choice, right? Like,
Right.
what are you gonna do?
Right. That's true. That's true. It'll be like a very crazy, violent episode of like Love Island, because at the end you can choose
Love
keep
Island.
the money for yourself, or take love. So
Oh,
yeah, that
that'll
would be
be.
cool. Yeah.
Do you? I guess this is a good question then, especially for Marco, since you talked about 4. Do you
Mhm.
think it should be? Because I noticed the GTA games always seem to complement, or not complement, copy whatever the popular like crime drama of the time is and stuff.
Mhm.
Like with GTA 4, you see heavily it's like The Sopranos a bit, right? Like it
Mhm.
definitely takes a lot from that. I'm trying to think what 6 would take from in like the modern day, because 5 takes a little bit from Breaking Bad and stuff like that. You notice where it has
It
like
has a little
tongue-in-cheek
bit,
moments,
yeah.
but is also really brutal at times. You know,
Sure. Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
curious
there
what
was.
6 would. If you'd want to see it go in a more serious route like 4, you'd want it to be more tongue-in-cheek, like 5 was.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get a 4 again.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like, look at the way they advertise it, and like look at it. I think it's gonna be a bit of a, you're going back to Vice City, right? Which is
Mhm.
Miami. It's Florida. There's like Florida Man. There's meth
Yeah.
country. Like, I just don't think it's gonna be that. I think it'll have its moments, sure,
Hmm.
where it'll be more grounded and it'll be more serious, because even GTA 5 had that. But I think the overall tone is it's going to be, Scarface, bank robbery, crime, like just like action crime and stuff. I don't think it's going to be too crazy. There's probably Narcos, if you want to pick something.
I was
Ooh,
gonna
If you
that's a
want
say
to
good one.
pick if you
Yeah.
want to pick a
Mm.
crime thing that's related to Florida and all that, yeah, just go Narcos and just copy off of that, drug running and stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
They're Hispanic in this one, right?
Lucinda
I
They're
is,
I
yeah.
think I think
oh,
the
okay.
yeah, the girl is, and then the
The
guy might just
guy's white.
be just
Yes.
white dude.
The guy's white with like the stubble and the shaved head, so it's like he's giving
I
real like
see.
undercover cop energy.
He's
He
giving
really
Chet
is.
Hanks.
Like
He's giving Chet Hanks in Jamaica. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
yeah. But it's gonna be interesting. That's a great point. I didn't even think about Narcos. Didn't even cross my brain. And now that you say that,
Mm.
I think that's absolutely what they'll do. That's why they went back to Vice City probably for Miami and all of
Probably.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
yeah,
see. Yeah, I think heist will be a thing, because I think just Rockstar loves like the idea of the heist,
Yeah.
because they teased it, right, since GTA 4, right, when there was that mission where you do a heist. That was very clearly the prototype for what would come in GTA 5, and then obviously GTA 5 is all around heist. And I
yes,
think that'll still be an element, but if you're trying to hype it up as, oh, this is a completely new game, we're not trying to tread old ground. Yeah, the heist will be there because it's a fun mechanic. Obviously, it's cool to have a crew and to do that. But I think maybe the newest thing will be like, okay, we're running drugs, we're smuggling drugs from South America, kind of thing.
yes, because that's what I was gonna say. I would love to see a system, because my one of my complaints with 5 is I love the heists, and that's like one of the best parts of that game is doing the heists, especially to pay off debts and stuff that comes up from the story.
Hmm.
But my complaints about 5 is you kind of just get lump sums of money to do the heists. They're kind of just like heist time, buy a bunch of guns and stuff. I would much rather see it like escalate the heists, right? Like first heist is like rob a gas station, and then it's like rob a bank, then it's like rob the military vault, right? Like it tiers throughout the game as you get
Mhm.
stronger. Because I always thought it was goofy that it was just like I'm, normally using a pistol and a shotgun for most missions, and I don't know where they're like, oh, we're gonna rob the skyscraper. Here's a minigun. You get it for this mission, and then that's it.
Mm.
And I was always like, that's a little odd. It feels out of place, essentially. I would love to see it scale almost like a online raid style system where it's like you start on the easier ones and then go up through the story.
Mhm.
With some of
Yeah.
those, like you said, that's why I pointed when you said that, Marco, being like drug runs and stuff. Like it doesn't have to be a
Sure.
traditional heist of like rob the bank, like intercept this drug deal at the border or something,
Oh yeah, no, that'd be
That'd be
cool.
sick.
That'd be cool. It would be very cool to like have other forms of making money where you could essentially set up an operation, right? And not just be like, oh, I have to make money because okay, go over here and kill this guy, and I'm gonna give you $20,000 or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that'd be cool.
Oh man, it's so much potential.
Speaking of grinding missions, I also wanted to get some opinions on the Destiny 2 fate. The fate of Destiny 2 right now. This is our first podcast since the news of
Mhm.
Destiny 2 live service has ended. All the content for Destiny 2 has been released, and we will not get any new ones. And for those of you that don't know, Destiny 2 is my most played game ever on PlayStation. I played that so much, did every single raid, and now it's just in this dead float.
It's
There's
sad.
nothing new. So yeah.
I also played a lot of Destiny, not as much as Glenn. I have probably like 200 something hours in Destiny 2. Um, I think Bungie might be fucked. That's like my take.
Mm,
PlayStation put a lot of money into them for that game, and it
yeah.
floundered and is now dead in the water. And I like Marathon. I will stand here. I'll get hate for it. I do like Marathon. That game's way too competitive to have a wide audience. That game is for
Mm,
like die-hard FPS lovers.
Well, the
Kind of,
thing about Marathon is that around the same time, didn't they also announce that they're exploring PvE modes? So I wonder if it was like related to, sort of you had Destiny 2, they're not developing anymore, still keeping the servers up, but then at the same time, Marathon is not just going to be PvP, it's going to have PvE modes as well, which is what essentially Destiny was, right? It's like a
yeah,
PvE shooter, yep.
Hmm.
I remember that was my criticism of Marathon in the very beginning.
Mhm.
Is I I don't want strictly PvP games.
yeah,
I
Right.
am a very single player gamer,
hmm
and so I will almost never buy a game that is strictly multiplayer. So that's always what I liked about Destiny. Granted, I am not one of the people that do raids single player. I know that's possible. I'm not gonna start doing all that mess. But I did do a lot of solo dungeons, which were
yeah,
also very hard. But it's stuff like that where it's like I need that possibility if it's gonna be on my library.
yes,
So I think if it does switch to PvE marathon, I'll start, putting the magnifying glass up to it. But I feel like stuff like that needs to be considered at launch nowadays with how much they're charging for these games.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think Destiny 2 had so many problems with the content releases and how expensive it was to keep up with it and all these things. I
Mhm.
remember, being in the weeds when that final big expansion came out. I was playing a lot
Yeah.
then. And it was like a nightmare. Like my friends would want to hop in and enjoy the hype, and I'm like, all right, you have to buy like 4 expansions, and it comes out to
Yeah.
being like
Yeah.
$120 or something to
Sure.
just jump in and play. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you could do and then it's competing against other MMOs like FF14 or like WoW, which have longer systems, which have bigger player bases. Granted, they're only on PC, or no, FF14's on PlayStation as well, and they're different.
Mm.
But I mean, that's a tough sell for people. And then also, it doesn't help
Yeah.
that you talk to any Destiny player, and you're like, "Do you like the game?" And they're like, "No." They're like, "I hate it." Like in
It
their
was
Yeah.
opinion.
crazy because while I was away, I was seeing all those TikTok edits of like how it felt to play Destiny for the first time though. And I also brought up to Mark like privately, like they sunsetted so much content, and
Yeah.
now
That's
that's
cool.
going to sit in the vault. Like release that, make
I
that playable.
Yeah, as
Yes.
someone who hasn't played Destiny 2, I mean, like I did the tutorial and everything, right? But then it's like once I got to like the city, I didn't really know what to do next. It's like I went to a
Mm,
zone and I was like killing stuff and I'm like, I don't know what to do here, right?
yeah.
And so it's like that new player onboarding, and I think maybe they've like changed it since I've last played, but the new player onboarding was a problem, and then you hear
Was.
the sentiment that, oh yeah, Destiny 2 had all these cool raids and they removed it from the game and you can't access it ever again. That was part of your the expansion you paid for, by the way. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, why on earth would you do that? Like I can't imagine a single upside to do like in that decision.
it's so
Like
depressing.
just keep it, like if it's old content, it's fine. Just like keep it there. But
Yeah.
like I don't, I mean, maybe you understand the game better. Maybe there's a reason to remove old raids, but I can't imagine like
I cannot.
why.
I think it was because they complained about game balance. Like, FF14 is a good example here, and I know Mark and I play, so we can talk about this a little bit. Like, FF14 rebalances all of its old raids and content to make it to where you can play them at any
Right.
level. You know what I'm saying? And I think the devs didn't want to do that. Like, it takes a lot of
Well,
effort to do that, so they just got rid of it.
but then just do what WoW does, and it's just there, and it's like you can go in with your max level character and solo it.
But
But
that's the difference, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Glenn,
right.
because you probably have more time on Destiny than me. But Destiny has the paid microtransactions for cosmetics and stuff, right? If I remember correctly.
They definitely do.
And
Yeah.
so I think they didn't want people running easy raids to get good outfits. They wanted you to rather pay for stuff in the store. So if they had to rebalance it and do all this stuff, you could just grind those old raids for like transmog, because
So
you can transmog in Destiny.
right.
And
So is there no level cap? Like those old raids, it's like the same level as the new ones that come out. It's not like it's a level 50 raid and now we're at level 80. Is it not like that? It's like the same level.
No. No. It's
Okay,
like
yeah.
there is a level requirement
yeah,
to start raids, I'm pretty sure, but they're
but
not based off of like, oh, there's a level 80 raid. Here, do this level 61. No, no, no. It's like when you unlock raids, you unlock raids, and the
yeah,
raid will be the raid.
some
Um,
are harder than others based on your light level, which is like your item level essentially.
Okay.
yeah. And there's master. I don't think there's master raids, but there's master dungeons, which is
Yes.
like a 3-person raid. Uh, yeah, it's like a smaller raid that most people without full fire teams will run when you only have like 3 friends to play with or whatever.
Mm.
Uh, but I was gonna add, you don't get cosmetics for raids, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's just
I
weapons
think
and
it's
stuff if I
only
remember.
guns. I could be wrong though. Actually, that sounds wrong. Yeah, scratch that. I think you do get cosmetics for it.
Because I was about to say you
Yeah.
get gear from the raids, I think.
Yeah, you do. Okay, you're right. Yeah, gear. Okay.
You
Oh,
get
sorry,
gear, and
sorry.
then you can use that for the transmog. And I remember that was a
Okay.
whole thing where it was like when they removed.
Yeah.
Because I think when they
And now
removed
now
the
it's
old
promo
raids,
then. Yeah.
well, not even that. I think they removed that old gear. So like if you had transmog gear
Wait,
from
what?
those raids, it's just gone.
They what?
Dude,
No, there's no way.
I think so.
I really genuinely love that you like work for anything in gaming now, or
It's
work
just
for
gone.
it, pay for it, and they're just like, no, no, it's
Yeah.
gone now. We're just gonna take it
Let me
away from
look
you
this up.
for
I'm gonna
no
look this up
reason.
while you guys talk
For
to make
no
sure I'm not.
reason.
I,
I
I
mean,
gotta.
I know this was like probably the main, as someone outside the game, this is probably one of the biggest complaints I've heard about the game is how they removed all old content. I heard it over and over again, and it's
Yeah.
Wrong. That's
I just don't understand like why.
Like my biggest gripe is I want to play the Leviathan raid. Out of all of my time in Destiny 2, I've never been
Right,
able to play the Leviathan raid. And
right,
I
because
don't
it's
think it's
gone.
ever, I don't think it's coming back. It's completely sunsetted. And I know they've sunset a few dungeons I would want to play, but it's one of those cases where now that it's
Right.
gone, I've I've done more complaining about stuff I want to do in Destiny than playing Destiny at this point. So,
I mean, I will say it is. I mean, it's still unfortunate that's being put on maintenance mode, but that
yeah,
is not the worst fate. There was
it's true.
a very popular MMO that came out within the last few years was called New World from Amazon.
Yes.
And
Oh,
it had a rough start. It had a rough start, but it was really promising. So it had like a small but loyal fan base. And as they released like an expansion or two, it just got better and better. And then I think they released like an expansion right before they announced the closure, and it was like so well received. And then a week later, Amazon just like, oh yeah, this game's dead in a year. So it's still
Wow.
online today, but it's knowing that this game is they're shutting it down, not maintenance mode. It's like servers
Oh, so they'll
offline.
pull the plug on that?
They're gonna pull the plug,
Wow.
Yeah, they're
and
pulling the
like,
plug.
see, so obviously it sucks when your live service or MMO game enters maintenance mode, and
Mhm.
that's. But the thing is, with all live service or MMOs, it's either that or the plug is pulled, right?
Yeah.
And I think at the very least, I mean, they could always change and say, actually, we are shutting the servers down, which would suck. But I think at the very least, it's still online. And if it's sort of entering maintenance mode, I feel like they should just who cares now? Just unlock all the content.
Yeah.
Like there's no need to worry about balance if you're just like
Yeah.
just release it all, and it'll give in a weird way, like I would be interested in like coming to Destiny 2 now that I know it's like kind of done, and it's like I can play the whole thing and sort of experience it. It would make me
Mhm.
more interested if they were like everything is here, including all the stuff we're removing. Just put everything. This game is basically complete. It's live service. There's no more major updates, but it's done. And people who've never played it, maybe they'll be like, "Oh, let me check it out." And it could be one of those games like TF2. Like I feel like I don't know if maintenance mode is the appropriate word for it, but I know it's sort of like, back in the day had many updates and it's sort of just been coasting for a while. I don't think there's
Yeah.
been a big update, but then it still has that like small but consistent player base. So I could see Destiny 2. The problem is like, things just suck now and then players slowly dwindle away, then they probably will pull the plug because it's not worth the server costs for if there's like 500 or less people
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I looked it up. So here was what it said. Again, Google Gemini. It's a grain of salt. Usual bullshit. Um,
Mm.
they did say I was correct. They did say the reason they got rid of the old raids was they didn't want to maintain them anymore. That was true. They said I don't want to update them, and they said it's only a small percentage of people play the old raids. They were like people only play current content, and then people were like, "Well, you should level the raids up to where they could be relevant," and then they were just like, "No, we're getting rid of them." And then what they did was they didn't get rid of the transmog. I was wrong about that, but I do remember they got rid of something. So a big thing in Destiny, which this is what I'd forgotten, that Mark you wouldn't understand, is when you get weapons and stuff, right? It's not just like assault rifles and pistols and handguns and that. Like raid level weapons in Destiny have special effects and passives and things that they do. Like
Yeah.
they'll cast magic bolts and things like that while you shoot, or like you're invulnerable while you reload, right?
Yeah.
So they would
Okay.
have to rebalance all those weapons as well. So they sunset all those items. So people were like,
I know.
"Oh, we don't want to balance those for new raids and new encounters, so we've sunset them all. Their damage is perma-capped." And people were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, but I love the way this gun mechanic works where I cast a spell when
Right.
I shoot it at the same time." And they were like, "Too bad, you can't use it. It will never be relevant for current content again." That's
Yeah.
what I was
Okay.
thinking of when I said they made it like you can't really
Right.
use it again.
But now the game's done. So unlock
Yeah.
it all and let people go crazy. Like
They should. They really
Yeah.
should.
like okay, maybe that's a reasonable reason when they were releasing the next raid and they're like, we don't want you to use that crazy OP gun from the last one, so it's like kind of locked. But it's like, okay, the game's done now. Like so
Yeah,
then
it's
just
cooked.
unlock everything, let people go nuts. You could probably make it so like I don't know, you can like adjust it so like people can like keep min-maxing the way like what do you like those games like Path of Exile?
Mhm.
It just people can keep getting stronger and stronger, stuff like that. Like they should. I mean, I have no idea how this game works, but if that's one way you can keep a game alive without, really updating it, like just unlock everything and let people like min-max the characters and make them as strong as they can, and maybe you have some raid encounters that have like they also get harder and harder. So it's like your character
Mhm.
is just getting more and more OP, but then you take on like harder and harder levels of the older content, and they could
Yeah,
they could do go that way.
that would
I
be
don't know.
awesome.
I'm talking like I know this game. I have no idea how this game works, but I mean it's a shame. Like I don't think maintenance mode needs to mean like okay, this game is dead. I feel like there's still like a lot of opportunity. I mean, I think with Destiny 2, I was checking the charts, like it's been sort of trending downwards. But I
Mhm.
think that was
Of
kind of
course.
expected, right? Because it's like with the last expansion, like even I didn't play the game, but you kind of got this sense that the game was coming close to its like end, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then so
The
when
last
this
expansion
news,
was like
yeah.
the final one they
Yeah,
Right.
released.
it was a pretty
So
hard
yeah.
nail in the coffin for the
So
story at
it's
least.
like you could, unless if they wanted to like restart the story, you could sort of reasonably expect that it would have entered maintenance mode soon. The only other thing with that game that I think is a bit unfortunate is that there's no news on like Destiny 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not doing that.
So,
I don't think there's any
you
way.
don't think they're doing it at all? Like, you think that
No,
an IP is donezo?
no.
I think they're gonna turn
I don't
Marathon
know
into Destiny 3. Honestly.
I
Yeah,
think
okay.
like as an IP, Destiny, I bet they could do whatever they want with it. But if they weren't ready to keep Destiny 2, there's no way they're just gonna start making a whole new game.
Yeah.
I don't see that because Destiny 1, the gap between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 seems so short in my mind. Um,
Sorry, you know what an issue is? Like, this is
what's
only
that?
Steam, but there's more people
Of
playing
course.
Destiny 2 right now than there's people
Yeah.
playing Marathon.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
So I'm like, you sure you're putting the right game into maintenance mode here? It's like,
dude, a lot of people dislike Marathon, and like I know Willis here, stand by his Marathon. I bet it's a good game, but like Bungie, man,
Cook.
they have fan bases, bro. They have fan bases, and so that's why you get people super mad at Halo now, and why
Yeah.
you got people that turn tail on Destiny. It's like Bungie, you create like communities, and
And
it's
they burn
hard.
them.
Yeah, it's hard putting a whole new community into an already so gated one. And so when you hear about this marathon, dude, you're gonna have to turn that gated community onto marathon. Like,
And it's not gonna
I
happen
don't
because
know.
it's so competitive. You're asking an MMO
Yeah,
audience who's used to cooperative gameplay and story-based missions to go play like a uber hardcore
exactly.
Yeah,
extraction shooter. Like
go
even
play
by my
Escape from
standards,
Tarkov.
exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, there's parts of Marathon that make Tarkov look like a cakewalk. That game is intense. Now I like that because I like that it's very competitive. Although I have real complaints about Marathon, why I stopped playing, which is like that game is like as bad as WoW, where it requires you to grind it like a full-time job, which I think sucks because the raid level weapons are so strong they'll destroy everybody. So it gets to the point where it really sucks. Uh, and that's why the player base is going down so quickly for Marathon.
Mhm.
so I mean, then what does Bungie have? It's like
Nothing
they
right now.
released
They're really fucked.
Marathon.
Yeah,
They
just
What?
despair.
to put into
This is
perspective, PlayStation, I looked this up again. PlayStation bought Marathon for $3.6 billion. And they have lost since that acquisition almost $1 billion in value. So they did
Wow.
nothing but lose money for PlayStation the whole time
Dude.
PlayStation owned them.
Okay, but then they're fine. They have PlayStation money then. It's just PlayStation that took the L for that.
Yes,
But it's like putting that much on a PvP only,
That's
I will never understand. At
it's
least
crazy.
at least Destiny had shit you could do alone.
It
Like
really,
I cannot fathom that.
the whole time I played Marathon, and I get it that like they knew that because it was PvP only, they sold it cheaper than standard, which is why it was $40. But I'm gonna be honest, the whole time I was playing Marathon, I love the PvP. I think it's really good, but I like the story. I like the world and the aesthetic. I want more of that. And the game's just like, no, do the raid, do the hardcore missions. And I'm like, okay, that's fun. But at some point, unless you're going to grind just Marathon, which, as the declining numbers show, is not going to stand, I don't know what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
That game is
Yeah.
way too hardcore for a casual audience. You need to have a way to bring casual people in. And Arc Raiders has now beat them to the punch in the extraction genre because they just announced PvE mode. You know,
Mhm.
There you go,
There you
man.
go.
Divorce
There you go.
Dad Simulator. It's happening. Dudes on all
Yeah.
chat and PvE Arc Raiders. It's happening.
Yep. Yep.
You hear
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
Breaking Benjamin.
It's I don't know. It just goes to show you how disconnected these investor led kind of companies are when it comes to gaming. I'm sure they don't give a shit. They just go marathon. Okay, it's like a PvP thing. Okay, that must be like Fortnite. Okay, so let's throw money at this. Maybe this will be the next Fortnite.
Yeah,
And
that
That's
is
because
why
all
they
they
do
think.
that.
That's all
100%.
they
that
think.
is why they do that. And then as you can see, I mean, yeah, Fortnite has always kind of been dominating the space, and everybody's just like, oh shit, we want to make another like $1 billion thing where it's a PvP thing, and all the storms closing in, and just change the storm to something else, right? And it's just that, and it's like a
Mhm.
battle royale PvP thing. So it's really disconnected. But then again, at the same time, even Fortnite is declining as well. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
has really gone into a decline. So, people are feeling the fatigue of, extraction shooter slash battle royale, whatever. And we might finally start seeing something else. I would certainly hope. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sound like the Unabomber, but I think the consequences of Fortnite have been a disaster
Yes,
for
I would
like
agree.
gaming as
Yeah,
a
I agree with
whole.
that.
As someone with a
With the
couple thousand
yeah,
hours in Fortnite, who used to like started his streaming stuff playing Fortnite in nights on
mhm,
college, I 100% agree. It's been
yeah,
disastrous on the rest of gaming, a la
yeah,
Concord, High Guard, etc. Everybody chasing the dragon of like I will
right,
be
Mm.
Fortnite, where such a
right,
See,
thing is
that's the
impossible.
problem, right? With a lot of these games that's been coming out, and these games have been costing like 100 million or 200 million to make, right?
Hmm.
They are making bets that, hey, this game is probably not going to make it, but if it has like even a small chance to capture a portion of like that market share, that means your 100 million investment could make billions for you.
Yes,
So
exactly.
they are making these bets knowing that it's probably likely to fail, and a lot of them do fail, but you only need one of them to then, if you can
Make it all back. Yeah.
catch that, yeah, and then make billions. If you get the next Overwatch or the next Fortnite,
right.
then you can make billions. But that I think that's why you see so many really expensive games come out, like High Guard, Concord, they flop immediately because to them it's immediately evident that we didn't get it, so just shut it down and try again.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I would say from like an investor angle, and that's always what this is, right? Because it's like the money
Right.
talks. From an investor angle, I don't think they go into it like, because how in the Hollywood system, if they know a movie's gonna be bad, that's okay because they could just write it off on their taxes, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like that's how that works. But I think in video games, I don't think these investors go in with the mindset of like, yeah, this could fail, but it could be amazing. I just think they literally get told this will be the next Fortnite. And look at this, we'll have a battle
Definitely.
pass system and it'll
Yep.
we'll have 20 seasons it'll be a live service. Therefore, people will pay hundreds of dollars continuously beyond just paying for the base game, and it'll be a constant cash cow because obviously back then we're I'm not gonna say we're as a like back in the day, but like there was a time when you bought the disc and that's it. You paid once and you got a game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just how it worked, and that's how people made money. But now there's this whole games as a live service thing,
Yes.
which is, hey, we're gonna constantly update it. And as advertising, it's like, yeah, we get to constantly update it. You get new content, aka you're gonna keep paying every season for a new battle pass and blah blah blah. So probably investors see it that way. They just go, oh yeah, this game will have a live service of constantly updating, constantly getting a battle pass that you have to pay for every time,
Yeah.
and you
Exactly.
keep pumping money. And then they go, yeah, it's the next Fortnite, can't go wrong. Look, we have all these Overwatch looking characters, people like Overwatch. And then they
Yes.
go, oh man, they're gonna love this. And then they go, wow, this High
Uh
Guard
oh.
game has 3 players, and it's Jeff Keeley. It's Jeff Keeley and his 2 burner accounts.
It's Jeff
You
Keighley,
know,
Miss Piggy, and Kermit the Frog.
yeah, just playing. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so, yeah, I don't think that it is a grand plan of them like hedging their bets. I just generally think they are just so disconnected from reality. And I think that the gaming industry as a whole right now is in a culture of there was a time, and it wasn't even that long ago, that the gaming industry I feel was in a culture of innovation and how they could push things and how they could push the limits of their engines and the hardware at the time. I think that was a thing. I think that genuinely did exist. we are now in the era of extraction, and I don't mean shooters. I mean, how can we extract the most money out of
Mm.
people
Yes.
continuously for the most like minimal amount of effort and the most
Oh,
minimal like
100%.
threshold of creativity. So you're not really rewarding developers anymore for, hey, we just want to make a game and we want it to be fun and we want to tell a story and we want it to, just be an experience for players. It's, are you the next Fortnite? Do you have a battle pass? Are there loot boxes? Yes or no? And I'm
Yeah.
probably, they have to have their hands tied and go, uh yeah, I guess so. Now we do. Now
Yeah,
now we're gonna
exactly.
have to turn it into that, right? Like before we wanted to have a, I don't know, an interesting game that might be 40 hours long and that's it. But now it's like, nope, now you're making Fortnite. It's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
But see, the thing is like that. I think what's reassuring to see is that you've now, in light of these bigger companies just making these massive, just totally unenforced errors, instead you've been seeing, I think, a mix of either indie developers or smaller studios. I mean, you think about like the last few Game of the Year winners, it was like Baldur's Gate and Expedition
Right.
33. These are games that were, it was like a complete package, obviously built with like a lot of attention and love and care into the game. But those are slightly bigger games. But then you still see games like, Slay the Spire, Subnautica,
Sure.
right?
Hmm.
Even a game like Pal World, where you look at it
Yeah.
and this is just a straight off rip off of like
Timu
10,
Pokemon,
right, Temu Pokemon.
Pretty
That
basically.
much.
game
Yeah.
launched and it had like one of the highest concurrent, like over 2 million concurrent players when it launched. And I mean, it was a great, it was so much fun, but it's just like you don't need, like, I feel like this is where, I think it's reassuring that you still have games that are just like a lot of fun to play, made by very focused and devoted studios now. And it's really like the bigger studios that we sort of grew up, that we used to love and play those games, like Blizzard Entertainment, Bungie, that they've lost their way, and now they're big and they need to make like the next big thing, and if they don't make all this money, you know they just need to chase the trend that they're already 5 years late to. So well, I think it's depressing for those bigger studios that we've known for a while. I think it's really the smaller studios and indie studios that have really been sort of innovating and still creating a lot of really great games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can agree with that. I mean, it's like if you look at movies, right? You can say, you can have the same
Mm.
argument. If you
Yeah.
if you only ever watch Marvel movies, you would say that the state of cinema is like horrible and abysmal, and movies suck, and you should burn down all the theaters. But if you look beyond that, there will always be,
Yeah.
international films and smaller independent films and these kinds of little, just not big blockbusters that are fantastic movies that you can enjoy. And like, there are still a lot of people that put a lot of passion into it, and they're not just looking for being the next Fortnite
No,
or whatever it
exactly.
is. So,
Because I mean that's a real phenomena, and I know this is like slandering a group of the gaming audience, but I'm gonna take a shot at them, and it's true. Glenn knows exactly what I'm about to say, but like the meme that has come around of like ball and gun gamers, where it's like, oh, does the game have a gun or a ball in it? It doesn't. I'm not gonna play it, right? Like, and that's becoming a real
Mm,
part of the gaming audience, where it's like, is it 2K,
mm.
is it GTA, or Call of Duty? No, oh man, there's no good games. Like you saw,
right.
like that side of the gaming audience, that like more casual side of the audience, like they were like in the streets crying when Marvel Rivals came out because they were like, "Holy shit, there's a new game!" I'm like, you missed everything.
Yeah.
It's so atrocious. And
Yeah.
so you got to
Seeing
remember, there's
people,
always that. Exactly. Good.
I was just gonna say, seeing people leave that space is such a beautiful feeling, though.
It is. It
And
is.
Mhm.
I literally was gonna bring up my father, where
Mm.
I'd only known he'd been playing like Fortnite, um, and Rocket League,
Yeah.
and then I just came home for the weekend, and dude's telling me his stories about blueprints and how he's
Oh.
getting into like these puzzle games, and I'm like, you have no idea the world you just opened up,
Yeah.
dropping
Mhm.
those gun and ball games, like puzzles, like they like games that actually make you play a game. It was so amazing seeing how he was like shying away from these ball and gun games,
Yeah.
and I was just like so pleased to see
Right.
that people are transitioning out of that, even if small enough. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
that
I
was
feel like
all I was gonna say.
but I completely agree with you because I was gonna say I feel like a game that really broke through and you saw a ton of people play who usually don't play those kind of games was Expedition 33. Like good word of
Mm,
mouth, tons of people who had never touched a turn-based game, much less an RPG in their life, you know,
100%.
picked that up because like everybody and their brother was like, "Holy shit, this game rules!" And I think we need to do
Literally
that
me.
more often, like
Wait,
expand
Marco,
your palette.
you haven't played it yet, right?
Who?
Expedition,
It's on the to-do list, yes.
right?
It is it's in my it's installed in my library. I will say I have the highest honor of saying I'm not spoiled on anything for
That's
Oh
Expedition
so
33.
shit!
that's so impressive.
Oh
I
shit!
Really?
It's
I
really good.
Holy
literally
shit.
I genuinely literally have not seen anything. I've seen some of you guys play it and I've seen like I think one cutscene, but the overarching story or anything else beyond like a
Mm.
couple cutscenes I've seen, I don't know anything about that game. So I
Oh
will be
my
going
gosh, you're in
in
for such a treat.
It's
completely
huge.
That's
Yes,
I
it
just
is.
assumed you were spoiled. Oh my god. That's
No,
amazing.
it
no,
is. It is
no. Yeah,
such a good game.
I think enough time has passed that people aren't talking about it as much as obviously when it
Right.
was like at its peak. So I don't randomly come across anything. And so yeah, I can just kind of go at my own pace to finally play it and just see what it is. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, I am glad that something like Expedition 33 did get Game of the Year. Now, some people will be like, "Oh yeah, well, Game of the Year plus 800 other awards, plus the Nobel Peace Prize,
Yeah.
plus
Yep.
and things like that." But at least I do think it did at least deserve recognition because it is nice that a smaller team
Hmm.
did something
100%.
and it paid off and it got recognized by like the wider gaming sphere.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that gets trumped by the messiah of gaming, which is Mixtape, which is, I think, not only game of the year, but I think game of all time. It's the
Oh
GOAT.
Dude,
yeah.
holy shit.
And
That's good.
I love the
and
90s,
and
bro. Tell me how much you
yeah,
love the 90s.
and so I think it is truly going to be one of those games that defines millennia, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad. No, okay, but in all seriousness, like there's always been I remember even like back in the day, it was always the running joke of like nobody takes IGN seriously and like
Yeah.
nobody
Right.
takes their rating seriously. I remember this from as being a kid and just being
Yeah.
like, okay, IGN just rates things like so randomly. Like, why are people upset
I
that they
remember
gave this shit a 10? Who cares
I remember the day I
what they
realized
think?
that IGN was full of shit was when they gave Doom 2016 a 6 out of 10. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's slanderous
I
work.
think
Yeah.
I think they've perfected the art of rage baiting because
It has to
it,
be.
it doesn't matter what any other reviewer
They
says
just
because
want
there could be
clicks.
like everyone else could be giving a game a 10, but if IGN gives that game a 6 or a 7, then that's all people are talking about.
Sure.
I think they've
Sure.
mastered the art of taking fucking money to give people better
Yeah,
scores.
Sure.
exactly.
Absolutely.
If you
I
want to
mean,
get on your like
absolutely.
true conspiracy, I think they're taking fucking money.
Dude, I
I
would believe it. I would believe it.
I think the people of Doom 2016 didn't pay those motherfuckers a dime, so they got a 6. And then Mouse PI for Hire didn't give them a fucking dime and got a 6. And Mixtape, with all their like license money that they just had to like get these high fucking musics, threw them some fucking bucks so they can get a 10 as well and go on their fucking way.
And it's so funny you say that because I just saw a thing like the other day that showed off something about Mixtape because this guy put it online. Every reviewer who got a copy of Mixtape got a special care package with their game that
What is
came with
that?
headphones, merch, all this stuff, and it was like almost like plus $100 worth of stuff they gave them with the game.
Yeah.
And so it was like they were totally buttering people up, like big time.
Absolutely.
The moment I knew Mixtape was truly actually kind of bad, I'll give a shout out to our friend Alexis. She started playing it on Game Pass and streaming it in the server the other day. And she
Oh,
was
shit.
like, and she was kind of playing it, and she was like, "Is this like Life is Strange?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Do I get to make choices?" I'm like, "You can interact with the game, but there's no
They
dialogue
wish
choices,
it was
there's no
Life is
cutscene
Strange.
choices." And I watched her like play the opening skating sequence, and she was like, "Do I even have to skate?" And I was like, "No, let the controller down, it'll start skating for itself." And it started doing that, and I watched her, who I would consider an open-minded individual when it comes to games. She'll try stuff out. Go, I hate this. In like less than an hour into that game, and just drop it instantaneously. And I was like,
I thought
yeah,
you would
no,
like
that's.
it. Yeah.
I actually thought she might actually like it because she would
Mhm.
want like enjoy the story, but immediately she was like, no, I don't fuck with this. And that's when I knew I was like, oh, it's cooked. This game's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's
no,
like
it's
they wanted it to be Life of Strange so bad,
yeah,
but
Yes.
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
didn't want the branching part. You know, they didn't want to have to make multiple endings. Make a section where like Slater dies or something. I think his
Yeah.
name is the guy character. Um, they couldn't do that. They spent
No.
all their money on the licensing and
Which is
the
not
fucking
permanent
character feature
licensing,
or
by the
whatever.
way. I saw someone talking
Oh
about
well,
that.
phenomenal.
No
Then
way.
That
then
said
in
was
the
that game's
fucking
gonna be Silence AF like 4 years time. Yeah.
I think in
Dude,
the year fucking
that's
2030, bro,
gonna be
it's just gonna be royalty free sounds while they're
that's
It
gonna
skating.
is.
be that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be they're gonna put 007 soundscape system
Dude,
from
it's
GTA.
actually gonna be that.
Dude, that's
They
crazy. Wow.
needed it to be. They needed this discussion, bro. That's why they pay IGN 10 out of 10s. Nobody would be talking about this game if that review did not come out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
It's
yeah. They're
so
It's
yeah.
crazy.
well
That's what it
also it
is.
like and I looked up a lot of stuff on Mixtape because I knew eventually we'd end up talking about it. There's a lot of stuff it gets wrong about the 90s. Like there's a scene where you rewind a mixtape. They do it wrong. Like
Oh
they
yeah,
rewind
I
the mixtape
did hear that
improperly in the game.
controversy.
It's
Yeah.
literally a performative game. Like it's like, "Oh, dude, you're a
Mhm.
millennial. Don't you miss the 90s, bro? Bro, me, like your childhood. It's me." And, you know.
Remember Clinton? Remember
Yeah,
that?
It's
That's
that one I
dope.
brought up privately. It's like ammonia or something of like nostalgia for a time you didn't exist in.
yes,
Like,
exactly.
dude, you were born in 1998. You're not nostalgic about the 90s.
Yeah,
You
no, you
weren't
barely
breaking
experienced it.
into
You were 2.
record stores. You weren't drunk in a record store trying to find a good cassette for your going away party.
Yeah.
You were not. And so it's like this. And so when they make games about the 90s, they're like, oh, let's go rewind a fucking cassette. They never learned how to do that. They just knew that that was the thing you had to do. So they're like, oh, make him turn it right when it had to go left or whatever the controversy was.
Yeah.
Because I'm 2001 baby. I don't know if fuck cassette rewind work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there's a ton of stuff like that.
That's crazy.
And I know
Yeah, it is. Damn.
yeah, it's and I know Gene Park, shout out to Gene Park, a game reviewer and writer for Washington Post, talked about too that Mixtape is very performative in the sense that it tries to have a diverse cast of like characters, but then on top of that, when it portrays the 90s, it's only the like white suburban skateboarder vibe. Like it's like
Yeah.
everyone did this in the 90s. No. It was not like that for everybody. So it's a very like rose tinted glasses version of the 90s in the first place, where it's like super generalizing what that was like for everyone. And then on top of that, it's also like, yeah, you can't really do anything. You kind of just watch the game happen. But I'll tell you, there's some
Yeah.
diehard stands for that game online. You
Definitely.
say something bad,
Like,
I've
me-
seen some people in the comments on like Twitter or Instagram. Dude, there's people that love that
See,
game.
the thing is, like, I'm sure this game is like a 10 out of 10 for like a lot of people. That's
Mhm.
fine. But it's like when I saw the game come out, you know, it's one thing if you like expect like a bunch of nines and a couple tens, but it was like every single review was a 10. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That's a
this
little
game,
odd.
if everyone is giving this a 10, this has to be like a generational game that just flew under the
Yeah.
radar. And then I like look into it and I'm like, okay, it looks really polished, but there's no game. play.
Yeah, it
Not a
is a
game.
game. It's like a
It's
interactive
a
movie.
movie,
It's a
right?
little movie.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think like maybe some like it can get a couple tens, but I feel like a 9 or an 8 is
And
more.
I
And
understand.
then the
Yeah.
problem, sorry, but the problem is like when you overhype games that much, then like my expectations are going to be way higher. And then if it's like if I played it, which I probably won't, but if I play it, I think it's going to be hard for me to like appreciate it knowing that like okay, everyone gave this game a 10 out of 10 and I'm like, okay, this is like nice and pretty, but I'm not like like I'm not like blown away or anything. And then
Mhm.
like my opinion of that game drops. And I think that happens to me a lot with like games that are like overwhelmingly recommended and people are like, "Oh, this is the best game ever. You have to play it." And I play it. I'm like, "Okay, that was very good." But I'm
Yes.
kind of disappointed now, you know. What-
100%. I was gonna say the same thing you just said, where it's like you buy this hype because Mixtape, and I feel like people dunk on it maybe a little too hard. You know, it's not like big rigs over the road racing, right? Like it's a real game, but it's a. I think if it sold itself properly and was reviewed properly for what it is, an interactive experience that's $20 for like 3 hours of gameplay, that's like a really polished story, I think people would have received it better than like, holy shit, dude, this could be game of the year, bro. Everybody gave it a 10. And it's like,
Mm.
it just sucks. And I think that game could get so much better, Will, if it simply had a game over screen. Like that
Mm.
video, that Australian reviewer, I can't remember her name, but shout out to her, where she does the final boss sequence, or final boss sequence, right? Which is this giant scripted musical sequence where you run away from the police, right? She did that shit without touching the controller. You will pass every QuickTime event. You will not fail. It will complete itself. That was huge slander for the game and made me not like it. Like, simply let it where, like, you screw it up and you get a game over. That way it feels like interactive, but that's not what they want. They want to catch the millennial audience who misses the 90s, or the performative audience who is, like, in Hot Topic wishing they, saw Nirvana live. It's, I mean, that's what it is.
Uh, yeah. I mean, listen. If anything, if you wanted to make it more like the '90s and have like a story, like why don't you just have the cast sitting around a TV watching like the O.J. Simpson trial?
Yeah.
Like or like I want to hear the characters' thoughts on like the L.A. Watts riots. People
Mm.
also forget that was in the '90s.
Big swings
You
from
know,
Mixtape.
yeah. I want to hear Mixtape's thoughts on that. Not just because yeah, it is clearly made by people that either had a very narrow experience of the '90s or they are from this generation looking back on what they
Yeah.
think the '90s was.
Yeah.
The ammonia. The
The
Right.
I wish I
nostalgia
was
for a
born in
time you never
blank
lived.
era. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's literally that. It's like it's one of those. It's the type of people that are like, this rap is overstimulating. I just can't get into it. But I want to be back in the '90s when everything was grunge
I miss
and
Eminem.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss Eminem. Okay, I don't listen to that mumble rap crap you guys listen to. Okay,
It was really
I miss
bold.
back when. Yeah, they're trying to cancel Eminem. These Gen Z guys are trying to cancel Eminem. This is ridiculous. This is such a soft generation. The '90s it was way cooler,
Yeah.
So
Really
it's just
bold.
yeah, I don't know.
Bold swings from Mixtape when the main girl, whose name I can't even remember after watching the Let's
Yeah,
Play,
very
looked at
memorable
the camera and
character.
was like, the glove doesn't fit. I was like, wow. Really, really, really swinging for the
Big
fences.
swings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited to hear that DLC when it comes out and what they say about that. I want to see what message they have. If you're such a generation defining thing, I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah,
that'll be cool.
that's if Mixtape gets nominated for Game of the Year, I will personally be slandering the Game Awards.
That's
I still
shudder
have
to
respect for
imagine.
Jeff Keighley, especially after he doubled down on High Guard and was like, I like it. I don't care what people think. Like, good for him. But you give
Jeff,
that a
you killed that
nomination.
game.
Yeah, Jeff did kill that game.
You
low-key.
killed that game.
He literally did.
Yeah, he put a fucking hex on that game, and just like some eldritch
Mixtape,
entity
please.
just destroyed that game immediately. I've never
I
seen a
think
game just do
I
that.
think that game would still be live today if it wasn't featured at the end of that. Was
A
it?
million
Dude.
Yeah.
percent.
It would still be
100,000,000%.
online today if it
They
was.
were gonna shadow drop it like Apex, dude. They
Oh
would
my
have
God.
survived so
They
long.
would have skirted under the radar, had a decent little
Right.
community of people,
Right. They like
and
fixed it, and over time
yeah.
people are like, "Oh, this game's kind of
Oh, you know,
cool." Yeah.
it's not, we're not looking for the best thing ever, but hey,
Right.
it's this little thing. But because it got under the spot,
Immediately.
and because people also were expecting Half-Life 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People
And,
being me. Me.
yeah, no, exactly.
Jeff
And
on
because
stage
people were doing
weeping.
that, yeah, I think Highguard was the sacrificial lamb of just like, oh, we're not getting like, you will die. You
Yes.
will die. We are going to kill you. And we're gonna just like parade your body through the streets now as like
Dude.
punishment.
That like
for
that
this.
meme of the Mega Man fan going to the Half-Life subreddit and being like, "You guys okay?" And they're like, "Kill him!" Like, that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened to
No,
Highguard.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's literally
Could
what
you
happened.
imagine?
It didn't help that
Yeah.
Highguard came out like it got announced at a Game Awards that was already banger. Like Divinity got
Oh,
announced,
yeah.
all these other things. So
Yeah.
it was a huge show, and you're like, "Oh my god, look at all these amazing announcements! The new Old Republic game, all this stuff. What is gonna come out and get announced right at the end?" And it's like, "Drum roll,
Yeah.
please, slop." And you're just like,
Could
"Oh,
you like? I can already imagine that Highguard's lifespan would have been tripled if Divinity and Highguard's revealed were like swapped.
dude, yes."
Absolutely.
If Divinity was the last announcement, that would have been hype. Or Star Wars.
Yeah.
Why was Star Wars the first announcement? It should have been Highguard. Dude,
It
you
should have been
know,
Highguard.
people would have been like throwing up in their seats for Fate of the Old Republic if it was the final announcement.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
dude.
yeah.
Tragic.
No, I don't know.
That's tough scenes. I
we
do
have
think it's
to-
really
Yeah.
sad
we
too
have
that
to-
a bunch of the people that worked on Highguard like came off of the Concord firing too. Like they got the double whammy. Like that sucks
Same
so
thing, bro.
bad.
Same thing.
I think at one point you have to be, if you're those developers, you just kind of have to wonder if God hates you.
Yeah.
And
Throw 'em in hell or
and you're
something.
God
and
is dunking
you
on your ass right now.
and I think
It's
it's a
personal.
sign that if you are on a doomed voyage like Concord, and then you get on the lifeboat and you just get on, you think you're safe with Highguard, and then I don't know, you hit a
There's a
second
hole in the lifeboat.
iceberg,
Yeah.
and a second iceberg, and also I don't know, a meteorite just crushes you. I
Yeah.
think it's probably time to say that God wants you to die.
It might
And
be time.
so it might be time to find another job. I know that's hard in this current day and age, but you could generate images on Grok for money.
Yeah.
Uh and you know, just, I don't know, politicians pregnant on Grok, or you could always
Taking notes
just do the Venezuelan route and
with
just work
RuneScape.
on RuneScape.
Right.
I was gonna say really quickly, I don't want to just go circle back to old topics, but
Mhm.
hearing, you know, the very sad fate of Destiny 2,
Mhm.
and you know, these kinds of MMOs like that, I just want to remind people that old school RuneScape is still strong, and they added sailing on there, and thank God for just autists that keep that kind of thing alive. It's just really, just want to just throw that out there, that it has like 100,000 players still, like,
Dude,
and
it's the goat.
and they add raids. It's actually insane. No bias though.
No bias at all.
No, none at all. None at all. Just
No,
I
wanted
gotta
to,
get back into it.
we gotta
Dude,
get
level
back
99
into it,
prayer. You
'cause
gotta do that again. Pick a new
that
thing.
was really impressive that you got your prayer cape, and then you just went
Let-
like, I'm done now.
For context, I used to play RuneScape in like middle school, right? I don't remember that account details, so I had to make a new account.
Mhm.
But the one thing I've always wanted when I was a kid was a level 99 cape. I never got one. It was such a grind. So I
Right.
made this new account. I did a couple of the quests on Lumbridge, and then I was thinking, okay, what's like the easiest 99 to get?
Mhm.
And it was like either prayer if you like had gold, or like wood cutting or fire making and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go and do prayer. And I spent like the next week going to like the player housing and using their altar, buying just a bunch of shit from the market board. I bought like a bond, like the RuneScape bond, because you can buy gold. So I bought like a bond or two, so I
Yeah.
can buy all the bones. Then I just spent like a whole week burning it, got my cape, and I'm like, great. childhood dream accomplished, and I haven't played the game since.
Because I
Yeah,
remember
it's just
we'd see you in
dude,
person and you just have your phone out like
Right.
praying in the game.
that's funny. That's awesome.
I do
And then
remember that.
you hung up your jersey in the rafters like
Right.
Jordan.
Yeah.
You just had your historic season, and you said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna leave on a high
Because
note."
my next goal is going to be what is it? The Dragon Slayer one.
The
Oh,
Dragon
yeah.
Slayer quest.
Right. I was going to do that because I remembered that quest, but
That's a great one.
I still need to do a couple things before that.
Dude, it's
Dude,
time.
it's listen, it's gonna call you like the Green Goblin mask, and you're gonna have to get back on the game.
Yep.
It's bound
yeah.
to happen.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Too good. There's never enough space for more than like a couple games in a genre. That's why all these games
Yeah.
flop, I think. Like
Mhm.
RuneScape, WoW, FF14, that's kind of it.
Yeah. To be honest with you, yeah. I don't. Are there really any
There's
more
there's a couple more, but yeah, those are like the
major
big ones. Yeah. But there's
MMOs?
a few more that have like healthy enough
Yeah.
populations to like stick around, like
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2, Black Desert Online, Elder
That's true.
Scrolls Online.
But they'll never be
Yeah,
the
but
money makers. That's the issue, I think.
oh,
No.
I would say
Or they
yeah,
make
but
money,
not
but like
like
they'll never
they
be
make
like
money, but
Fortnite.
yeah,
Because I was thinking that earlier when Marco talked about
yeah.
Fortnite, where I was like, you really only got 3 games in the battle royale genre too. You got Apex, Warzone, and Fortnite, and anything that's tried to break into that since has also suffered.
Yeah. What about PUBG? Is that still even like a thing, or?
It is,
Oh,
but
I thought it was only famous in China still.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I
mostly
heard
in
it's just
China.
like only Indians and Chinese people play it.
That's how it seemed.
Yeah,
That's
unfortunately,
what I've heard.
it's kind of
recently.
dwindled in the States and Europe and everything.
Right, right. Okay, so yeah, then yeah, basically that holds. It's Fortnite, Apex, and then what's the last one? Marathon
Yeah,
is the true successor of Fortnite.
Warzone.
or no,
He
Oh,
said
Warzone.
Warzone. Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Warzone would
Warzone. Sorry, I was
definitely
like looking at a chat message and you said that. I just agreed.
would
Just
I was like,
agreed with Marathon being a battle royale.
just snuck in that
It needs to be.
marathon chill of like, yeah, what's the greatest game of all time? I think it's Marathon. I think it's really coming up
Bro,
there.
yeah,
It's
I
up
love
there with Mixtape. It's up there with
Dude,
Mixtape as
Marathon
greatest
and
game
Mixtape as
of
Game of
all
the Year award.
time.
It's a perfect tie between Marathon and Mixtape.
Holy shit.
You'd have to be a sick bastard if I ever met you and like you said your favorite games are like the greatest games of all time are Mixtape and then Marathon.
Dude, I
I
think
think
people
you
might
would have
actually
to
kill you.
be gunned down on the street
There's a chance.
if that
Yeah.
happened.
How do you have such differentiating like takes?
I'd be like,
Those two your favorite.
yeah, I'd be like, rotate an apple in your mind right now. Can you do that? Are you one of those people that is able to imagine an apple in a 3D space and then rotate it? And I will. That'll be a good litmus test.
Dude,
And
yeah.
then I'll be like, what are your thoughts on Mixtape? And then
What
that's
the
it.
Dude,
hell
and
is
then
that?
and they like
Yeah.
and then like you look at them and you're like, have you played any other games like ever? And they look you dead in the eyes and they go, I loved AC Shadows. It's like
Oh
I
my
love
fucking
on
lord.
I play on my Google Stadia. What the fuck was it called? My Google Stadia.
yeah, Google
I
Stadia.
play Assassin's Creed Shadows on my Google Stadia. I'd be like, what
dude,
the
it
fuck
was
is
peak.
this?
It was peak, bro. You don't understand.
It was very good. You actually have no idea. That
Google
yeah. There are people
Stadia.
out there. There are people
Yeah.
out there. Be careful.
Glenn, I'm warning you. One day that game will be on sale for 99 cents, and I
Dude,
will be buying it and streaming it for
dude,
you.
I just can't fathom a world where you would need to do that. I guarantee I could give you a list of 100 things that are better to use for your money, regardless of what the sale is. If it's down to $1, I'll give you a list of better things to spend $1 on, brother.
That's fair. Well, they also got I don't know if you saw this, not to like kind of, I guess we're getting to the point where we're getting close to ending, but this could be a good capstone moment
Yeah.
because this is gonna get Glenn going because I don't know if you saw this because it was while you were gone, but they showed more footage of the Black Flag remake. I don't know if you saw that.
Of course. Yeah.
And people were complaining. It looks like there was some stuff they did not show in that presentation that people don't like.
Mm,
It's gonna have hunting and a bunch of other stuff, and you're
Mm.
gonna have bullet sponge bosses. It seems because you have to like bullet sponge
my
fight the pig and
God.
stuff.
ay, ay, ay.
And they're adding like other
Jesus.
mechanics like drunk loading screens and stuff that people are like, why even add stuff like this? It's odd.
And I heard
That
they're
is
gonna
awesome.
take off. I don't know if it was that game or whatever the next Assassin's Creed is gonna be, but apparently they're not letting you use the hidden blades as weapons in regular combat. Like only you
Only
can
for
only
assassinations. Yeah.
assassinate. You cannot use
So
them like
stupid.
regular just weapons. Which I
So
think
stupid.
literally like every
I'm
game
watching the life through
has
Glenn's
done
eyes.
that.
Every game except like, oh man, I
Like
think it's every game where you can.
except like the first one, I think. Like
No, you
unironically.
can use it in the first one. I know that for a
Really?
fact. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so goofy that they're just gonna start doing that.
I don't know,
I,
man.
I, dude, what it was? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It had the fucking spear. That
Oh
Oh,
that
yeah.
that what was it? Spartacus's spear took over the role of like the hidden blade.
uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't
It,
play
it-
Odyssey, so.
garbage. Don't do that.
I don't
No.
remember.
It's like, what are we? It's like the like opening was it fucking prologue of the game is like Spartacus, 300
Oh yeah.
Spartans. And in the fight, his spear is broken, and you're like a little kid, and you just like take it and like store it or whatever. And it's like, this is Spartacus, this spear. I fucking this is my hidden blade for some reason because this is ancient Greece. This was before the Christians and the old
And
Templars, so
then the
of course we're not gonna have hidden
Templars.
blades.
Right.
That was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know why they fucking choose to do that. And then they made Valhalla, and we're like, you know what? We'll give you your little hidden blade, kitties, and they put it like on the back of the forearm, so everything's like a punch now. I don't know. I can go on and on about how bad that game is going, and the fact that the one after AC Shadows is gonna be Salem Witch Trials. It's like,
That's weird. I didn't know that. Wait, what?
That's
yeah, Assassin's
Dude.
Creed Hex is what it's gonna be called.
Oh
And it's
Assassin's
the
my
Creed.
Salem
god.
Witch Trials.
So I'm
They're just
assuming it's
can
gonna be
they're canonizing
supernatural.
witches in the real world, guys. Which I get it, right? We're all fighting for this apple of Eden, which isn't a real thing. But like, am I about to see fucking witches?
It was already a lot in like I saw Odyssey had like Medusa and stuff in it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you've
Well,
already
I
lost
mean,
the plot.
Assassin's Creed Origins, right? Like the Egypt one, you were
yeah.
fighting like
They had
Anubis
Raw.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah, you were literally fighting Egyptian gods
Wait,
in that
what?
one. So
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
You are.
thought that game was supposed to be good. I thought that was like one of the better
It
ones.
definitely was better because
it's
it was
certainly
fucking
better.
Assassin's
That doesn't make it
Creed.
good
It
though.
was
That's true.
certainly better,
No,
and also to Glenn's point, in that one they had the hidden blades. They had the
they
hidden
Yeah.
blades in
do.
that one. So why did
Dude,
they just do like they just decided? It wasn't even like, oh well, the ancient Greeks don't have it because they're Greeks and we don't have the
But the Egyptians
Egyptians
had
had
it.
it. They
not
had
only
it.
not only does it have the assassins,
Well,
but we got the real origin story for them.
but
We
that
learned how the hidden blade will cut off the ring finger when you extend it, and like Altair's like whole lore. We got the lore of that. That
yes.
has something to do with Assassin's Creed. Odyssey had nothing, and
And
then they just kept that going.
Odyssey famously had the like massive like fuck up or whatever with its DLC with the like cuz Odyssey would let you have like romance options and stuff which the other games didn't,
Yeah,
and you could be like a homosexual character or non-binary, but then when you leave the Animus, because the way the Animus works, you have to have descendants. Like
yeah,
that's what it works. The whole system of going back in time in your mind means you have to have had like children, which like back in
yeah.
ancient Greece wouldn't have been a thing for that. So they literally had to patch in dialogue being like, I only had children with you to continue my bloodline and shit like that.
Mm,
Like they had to patch it into the game because they fucked up not thinking ahead.
yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, man. Like what are you doing?
Right.
It's
Right.
so crazy, and there's so much to talk about with the downfall of that game. It's unreal,
When the Black
Yeah.
Flag remake comes out, we'll have to do a bigger episode. This is like too much for can of worms
dude.
probably. But it's
It's
fun.
crazy because I that looks fun, right?
It
I
does look
haven't
fun,
seen
I
the
won't lie.
hunting thing, but yeah, it's like obviously a remake, so of course it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be assassins,
Yeah.
but it's stuff like that, man, where it's something as simple as taking away the right to use a hidden blade in fighting. Like
Yeah.
that was the whole fun of it, is being a stealthy assassin with a hidden blade. But anyway, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad you're so ready to play that game, Mark. I know you'll love it.
Big thumbs
Just
up.
remind yourself of how much Minkyu played that game before you buy it.
I
Man.
know he loved it. Oh my goodness, I'm excited.
Shout out to Minkyu. Oh my gosh.
Shout
Yo,
out
Nix,
Minkyu, bro.
yeah, shout out Minkyu, and he will be taking part in the destruction of New York / New Jersey when the Knicks win
Yeah.
the finals.
Yeah, shout out
Uh,
Knicks.
Shout out the Knicks,
please
bro.
just make your final make your final statements to loved ones in that
Yeah.
area, because I think the destruction that will happen will rival any comic book destruction of Gotham that you've ever seen.
The videos are
It will
so
be
funny.
obliterated. They will be obliterated.
Just dudes on the streets
We,
freaking out.
if we do an Assassin's Creed episode, we need to have Minkyu here.
Yes, I would
We
love to
do.
have him on as a guest.
Yes.
This dude is going to have to answer for his crimes and defend all of that. I need to grill him.
I need to.
on
I'm
what
gonna
he
write that
actually
down
likes about
in the
that game.
podcast topic.
I need to know what he actually likes about that game because I will not be taking the story as an answer. Like what?
What?
What part of the story?
What? Okay, now let me pose like a hypothetical for you. What if he gets on here and Minkyu being like an agreeable, just jolly guy? What if he just goes, I don't know, I had fun.
That's
That's
okay.
probably how it'll be.
Like that's valid.
What,
I'll be
what
honest,
I
that's
would you
completely
do?
valid.
Would you smite him down? Would you strike him
No,
down?
I wouldn't. Glenn
listen,
might.
listen, this was funny because after I saw the Return to Silent Hill movie, everybody that
need
we
to
were
watch
talking
that.
to was like, "Oh, what if Willis likes it?" I told them realistically, I would look at Willis and be like, "Why? Just tell me why." Yeah, that's all, and
I
that's
should
all I'll
watch
do to
that.
Minkyu. Yeah, man, you really shouldn't, but you also really, really should.
I might do that for next week's because I'll be out of town, but I still want to try and
Nice.
like record an episode. So it may not be live, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and maybe record from my laptop or something. We'll do something while I'm away. So I'd love to still do an episode. But that might be a good thing. Like I need something for the plane ride. Maybe I'll watch it because I think it's free on Prime Video right now.
It better be free.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, we'll
But
see.
yeah, with Minkyu, I would do the same. If he's like, I like it, and I'm like, why? And it's something as simple as I like transitioning from a stealthy Japanese girl to a big, strong black samurai. I'll be like, all right, yeah, I could see that being fun.
But the also the Assassin's Creed no Assassin's Creed jeez, the Attack on Titan DLC that game has is
Dude, I don't even know
hugely
What?
dog shit. Yeah.
What? What do you
I don't even
mean?
begin with
What
all
do
that.
you mean? It's
What the
it's
fuck is
Japan.
that? What are you talking about?
It's
Marco.
So
Japan.
detached from that world. It's like I just look at that shit and be like, okay, like I'm already very detached. It's like
Marco,
I don't care.
Huh?
Please look
Wait,
it up. It's so
Marco,
dog
Marco,
shit.
I'm gonna
Listen
send
to
you.
I have to
I
look
thought-
this up.
No, hold
It's
on.
so
I have to-
bad.
What?
You go to Atlantis in Odyssey, bro. I'm so
I didn't
done
know
with
that.
trying
You
to
know,
I
put
know,
these
but
on this.
what the
Yes.
what?
Attack on Titan
I'm
is
so done with
crazy
trying
work.
to put these in, bro. And
What
so when
the
I saw Attack on Titan, I shrugged my shoulders and was like, I guess they must have had a
It looks
collab.
terrible too, and apparently it's like wrong in the canon for AOT. Like it's just not right.
That doesn't surprise me. It's wrong in the canon for fucking Assassin's Creed already.
Yeah, that's true.
This
Why
looks
would-
so odd. What?
It's so bad. Yeah.
It just looks bad. Like it just looked like beyond the fact that it's like, oh, it's not whatever. You know.
Dude, it's
Can't-
so dog
Listen,
shit.
I don't want to hear anybody talking shit anymore about, oh my god, this black samurai. There are titans. There are titans in ancient Japan. So
Of course,
let's
I want to
not.
preface, the Black Samurai is the least of my worries to that game, bruh.
Yeah,
There's so
yeah.
much to hate on the game for. I don't care if people want to fucking min-max digest Yasuke or whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
no.
Like you
Uh-huh.
could, I don't care. But
Wow,
that shit
but
is what's
what
really
the
weird.
fuck?
Well, the
Wow,
worst thing
that
is,
the most shocking.
I remember
thing ever. Wow.
watching the footage, and it's like the main thing the Titans do is they eat people in the series,
Yeah.
right? They grab the people and eat
Yes.
them. You know what I'm saying? There's lore
Yes.
reasons. I won't spoil AOT because it's good. Now that's a hot take too, saying I like AOT, but I do. But like they eat people. They don't eat a single person in the DLC. They just like smush them with their hand. And I'm like,
oh my god.
you didn't even
Eating
read like
animation
one
was
chapter.
much.
You could have read chapter 1. They eat someone like 10 pages in. Like it's so easy.
What the fuck?
That's
It
what I'm
looks
saying,
like a
bro.
mobile
They
game
look-
expansion. It looks like a mobile game expansion. It looks
It does.
exactly
That's
like
what
that.
it looks like a fake game ad that I would get scrolling on Instagram. That's what I'm like looking at the screenshots. It genuinely looks like that. It looks like drag the key to get the dog out of the pit, like kind of
Yes,
shit.
yes.
Like kind of, it's like that's what I'm looking at right now. It is actually that is insane. That is insane. Ubisoft, I curse you. I curse you and all generations of your family. You are now hexed. You are now Assassin's Creed hexed for this atrocity. What is wrong with you? What is this,
Bro.
I'm
I
telling you, man.
It's so bad.
That's what I've been saying.
listen.
I don't know.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy a webcam camera just so I can thumbs down, and you can. I'm thumb downing right now. I am giving a boo, boo. This is terrible. Wow, that is actually shocking. I don't usually get shocked by gaming news, but that actually like jarred me.
You hit
I
the
am
like
perplexed.
the meme where the guy's like, "We're going to Philadelphia," and the grandpa's like, "What? Hell no!"
What? Oh hell no!
That
No,
was
that's
you.
crazy because I really would have thought Ubisoft would just kind of, hey, listen, it had all the discourse about it and all the whatever negativity surrounding it, and at the end of the day, it wasn't even a good game. Let's move on past it. But you have really, wow, they just brought it back
The,
to do that.
the
To put it,
credit you just gave Ubisoft in that one sentence is the most they'll ever have in their entire career. The
Yeah.
fact that they would sit there and think a game was bad and they messed up, was on to the next one. Oh hell no. Oh
And
hell no. They haven't done that.
I mean, they might be perma gone now too, because I don't know if you guys saw, but
I've
last
heard,
week
dude. If only.
they announced they
yeah.
lost like
What
1.3
happened?
billion euros or something like that.
Oh wow.
Let's get it to 2, fellas. Hey, we can make
Get it to
it
2.
2
No,
billion in
yeah.
the hole is the goal. 2 billion in the hole is
they're
the
like
goal,
they're
bro.
like weeping. They're like, "But aren't you excited? We put Solid Snake in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and it's not even called Siege anymore. It's called like Siege X because they rebranded the whole game." Fuck, dude! I used to play so much Siege, and like they just tarnished
I
that
do too
game.
as well.
The way Glenn hates
Oh.
Assassin's Creed is how I feel about what they did with Rainbow Six.
That's
Like just astonishing
everybody
levels of
has
slander.
their
It's so bad.
everybody has their thing. Yeah, for me it's Volition and Saints Row.
Oh, dude, they fucked up
I'm a
Saints Row so
huge
bad.
I'm a
Oh my
huge
god.
I'm such a huge Saints Row fan.
That's a really bad one.
I applauded when the news came out that Volition was like shut down. Like they were just like, yeah, the Saints Row reboot was a complete failure. Like
Glenn in
we're
a
shutting
week.
down the studio. I was like,
Please.
thank God. Dear God, stop killing Saints Row. You must never be allowed to just like ever make Saints Row things again. I would rather
Dude.
like people just keep playing the old games because stop it.
Jeff Keighley's gonna get on
Stop.
stage and be like, "We are announcing our surprise
Saints
announcement."
Row Battle Royale.
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say he's gonna get on stage and
That'd be
announce
a
the
cold day
bankruptcy of
now.
Ubisoft, and Glenn's gonna stand and start clapping.
Yes.
That'd be crazy.
Yes.
Could
Just
you
one more
imagine
thing.
dropping that news
Just
on the
one more
fucking
thing.
public forum?
The big final reveal is Ubisoft is
It's
gone.
not even a game.
It's gonna be
my God.
Glenn. He's gonna be fucking paragliding butt naked like Patrick in the SpongeBob
Yeah.
movie when they announce the closure of Ubisoft.
Could
And
you
it'll be
imagine?
like, yeah. Think about all the thousands of jobs that have been lost. I'm thinking about it right now. I have an erection. I don't know what to tell you. You know? Yeah.
But yeah, it really do be
Wow.
like that sometimes. I think
It
we
does.
gotta. I mean, we've been doing this for about 2 hours now. I think we gotta end it there.
crazy.
That was kind of the great capstone conversation.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
crash out about AOT and Shadows.
Yeah. No, that's
I know we've only done this for 3 episodes now, but wow, coffee was salty today, man. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, the coffee
That
has
was
some
The
salt.
salty.
most negative one we've had so far out of the 3 episodes. So
Dude, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one of the great joys of games and gaming gaming is
You're
that
gonna keep this thing
is
going.
that one of the I genuinely, if you think about it, no, seriously, if you think about it, regardless of like where we are today, I think one of the joys of gaming is bitching about video games.
Oh yeah,
No
absolutely.
matter what era you were in, it's technically always been like this of like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. Like, oh god, this is the worst shit ever. It can't ever get worse than this.
Nope,
And
it
like
can't.
it always can get worse. And that's kind of the beautiful thing. And honestly, not even to make it like sappy, but that's kind of the beautiful thing is that there will always be shitty ass games that people, despite whatever people like to play, will rally around and go,
Yeah.
yeah, this fucking sucks.
Mob
This
mentality is
terrible.
strong.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess sometimes it is fun to just be like, yeah, this game just fucking sucks, and it's fun to talk about how it sucks and how the Ubisoft or whoever is the developer under fire for the
Yeah.
day has betrayed us and has like ruined gaming forever with this, and it's always fun. I mean, like shout out to. I think a lot of just culture on the internet, right, was
Yeah.
nostalgia critic and angry video game nerd, and
Oh, for sure.
the people that got inspired by them, like Spoonie Project and stuff like that. Where, yeah, do these games suck? Yes. Are there probably worse things going on in the world? Also, yes. So I think we'll all live, but it is also fun to blow up at them and just take it out on these games that do suck, and stop making Fortnite. Please.
There it is. We're gonna end on that. Stop making Fortnite.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here, Marco, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank
as a
you for
guest.
having me.
Very happy to have
Thank you.
Thank you guys all as well.
Yeah, and the usual outro I'll give, hey, if you didn't like any of our takes, in the description on the YouTube video, we have a Discord. Join, come hang out, talk to us. It's linked down below. The COFY's Cafe. Come in there, hang out, play games, or talk. We'd be happy to do any of that. Follow me on social media for announcements of streams and everything, and to interact with any of us. We're all pretty active in comment sections on my stuff. So, yeah, if you're interested, just tune in and reach out. And we will have an episode next week, but probably not live is what will end up happening. So thank you all for tuning in. If anybody else has anything to say, I hit my mic. If anybody else has anything to say, please, plug something if you want to advertise anything or anything like that. So if not, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. This was tons of fun. Thank you for joining, Marco.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really nice to be part of this. I certainly hope that I can continue being part of it. Now, I don't know what the audience demand is going to sound like, but I certainly had a great time, and I appreciate you guys for, having me and for being able to contribute to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love for, as this goes on, it to be kind of like for a real, I'm going to date myself with this, but like the Rooster Teeth podcast, right? Where it's like, there is no set lineup, right? Like if people are busy, we'll bring in new people, we'll keep rotating it all the time. And, even if it ends up being like the usual 3 for like standard, we always want to have guests and rotate everything around as much as we can. And I think that would be fun.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds good. Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I'm going to cut the VOD and everything. So thank you all for watching. Much love to everybody who tuned in live, and much love to anybody who watches this on the VOD channel. So
You know,
take care, everybody. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
a damn fine cup of coffee.